Siobhain.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. A state of emergency has been declared in Sri Lanka by Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe after President Rajapaksa fled the country last night. This follows weeks of protests on the island, with inflation running at more than 50%, rocketing the price of everyday goods. The health system is on the verge of collapse due to lack of medicine. There is no fuel for essential transport services and medical vehicles. There have been power cuts, school closures, and we woke this morning to protesters overtaking the Prime Minister's office, tear gas fired by police, a curfew imposed on the capital, and the national TV broadcast suspended. This is a crisis in democracy, decades in the making. The world turned away when the Rajapaksa government cluster-bombed its own people committing genocide, murdered its journalists and enriched a small group led by one family. Their malign dynastic control has stripped the country bare, leaving behind a broken nation on the brink of economic collapse. Sri Lanka is unable to buy essential goods from abroad and for the first time in its history failed to make a payment on its foreign debt, a consequence of swinging populist tax cuts at the time of economic instability. Tory leadership candidates, beware. An IMF bailout is essential. But does the Minister agree with me that any financial assistance must go hand in hand with democratic and human rights reforms, particularly for the Tamil community, who continue to fight for truth, justice and accountability as a result of the human rights abuses perpetrated at the end of the civil war by the outgoing Rajapaksa regime?